There is a sickness that is going on among us as African diaspora and also Africans in Africa. It's called identity crisis. That we are lost. We are lost because we are not tracing ourselves back where we are coming from. Because those that have been before us have left a lot of signs, lots of evidence of their life. But we haven't paid enough attention to understand, to read the signs of time, to get the message that they left behind. Because they left message for us. And this message, of course, I didn't say they wrote it in a book of A4. That is not what I'm saying. But they wrote it in different ways because they live in different time. It is up to us to decode their time. Because when we understand who they were, the message they left for us, then, like Dr. Marcia is saying, we will reshape that narrative according to our time. One historian said that while a lot of archaeologists are running around the world looking for secret things, it's because those things have been put down by somebody, and because they have passed through time, it becomes valuable. Because a lot of people that are living today will not document their experiences, which means with the passage of time, their memory will fade away. We need to be intentional about this. This is a part of what we do in the classes media, in that we are intentionally putting down the record of our experiences. Well, somebody might not see the value in it just now, but I want to remind us that this is invaluable. I mean, you cannot quantify the importance of this.
One of the greatest forms of documentation, and documentation is the third one for me. One of the greatest forms of documentation is telling the truth. What is the truth? Accepting our flaws, imperfections, our strengths, our weaknesses, our triggers and all, and putting it down on paper in journals. Journals are the most authentic and organic form of reshaping our stories, because when we pull from those journals, we experience the same emotions again, and they are illuminated because of our maturity, because of our age, because of our new experience, because of our overcoming. And so the documentation serves to heal, to empower, to transform, to correct, and to magnify why we are here. So we are able to show up in writing, physically, mentally, spiritually, holistically is what I'm really saying, unapologetically. If there are gaps, we will not be able to reshape. We will always produce counterfeits. And that is why we must tell our children who we are and make them accept or reject the parts of the story that does not resonate with them. Because when we take them out of their baptism and put them into a different set of waters, into the deep blue sea, then we must understand that their survival mechanisms will make them forget sometimes what is it that they are carrying. And it is always this reshaping that helps us to remind them so that nothing is lost. All is preserved and carried with the dignity that I will tell you the parts of the story that are relevant at each time, but I will never destroy the whole story. I will never reject the narrative, because that is the composite parts of me that I choose to use, because I have that power. Because I'm able to reshape, I have that power, that authority that comes from being who I was before I was born, who I am because I was born into this generation, and who we will become because of what and how I see what I'm carrying. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
It's really a full lecture. You see, these are really beautiful. You know what I'm also very happy about is that we're able to record this conversation, and they're going to be available for many years to come. This is a part of what we do in A Classes Media. in that we are intentionally putting down the record of our experiences. Well, somebody might not see the value in it just now, but I want to remind us that this is invaluable. I mean, you cannot quantify the importance of this. Dr. Master, you see, you were with me when I presented the biography about my brother a couple of months ago. When I was presenting that book, I was really, really very emotional. And this is despite the fact that I've written a number of books. I've presented my books in different places, including universities, cultural centers, and school here in Italy. But when I was presenting this particular book, I was really, really emotional. But it was a good thing. I really feel very happy about it. But of course, why was I more emotional? I was emotional because I was talking about my family, and talking about my family in a way that I haven't talked about it before. Now, in that book, I make mention of the fact that this book, even though actually I wrote it about my eldest brother, because I appreciate what he has done for us as a family, the sacrifices that he made, the contribution that he made to the Ewanfoh family, and to me personally in a particular sense. But I wasn't writing this book just for him. I'm writing this book, or I was writing the book because this in the past, because I want to preserve his name. I want people to refer to this book later in the future and ask the question, but who was this man? By then, we are no longer alive. You see, we have the chance to be able to make a dent in the universe, to be able to present ourselves the way we want to present it. This is the power of story. It is powerful in that somebody is going to reshape a narrative based on what we are doing today, based on the story, based on the experiences that we are sharing today. We need to be intentional about this. These things, money cannot buy it. I want to repeat that. What we are doing today, money cannot buy it. Now, one historian said that why a lot of archaeologists are running around the world looking for secret things is because those things have been put down by somebody, and because they have passed through time, it becomes valuable. Hello, and thank you for checking out this video. I'm Obehi Ewanfoh, the host of the African Diaspora Storytelling series. Every 2 weeks, we meet up on LinkedIn to talk about different ways we can leverage the power of storytelling as people of African descent. Now, this is it. We are uniting the millions of Africans in the diaspora through the power of our story. It does sound like what you are interested in. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends who might need it. Now, back to today's conversation. Because a lot of people that are living today will not document their experiences, which means with the passage of time, their memory will fade away. Very soon, we will not even know who they are anymore. But what if there can be a record of their experiences so that their generation after them, many, many years after, can trace themselves back? Say, my father's father, he said this. Therefore, he was with this. This was his point of view. Because technology will change. Today, we're talking of ChatGPT, AI, and all of that. Many people think this is the higher that we can have. I say, hey, cool down. A couple of weeks ago, I brought in 5 neuroscientists in a webinar that we organized in A-Classes Media to talk about the role of neuroscience in storytelling, the working of our mind in storytelling. And of course, we're going to do a lot of this webinar in the future also. What I'm saying by that is, as the time passes, things are going to change, but nothing is going to happen to our story. How do I know that? Just look back again to story. You see, those painting, those drawing, those writing, those documentation that were done by ancient Egyptians thousands of years ago, they are still valuable today because that is how we manage to understand them. That is how we manage to understand who they are. You see, recently, People discover the working of the Nok culture, central Nigeria, dating back to thousands of years. But what does that mean? What value does that have to us? We are living in the jet age now. Oh, it have a lot of value. If we understand who our ancestors are, we will know how to shape ourselves. Dr. Marcia is saying we need to shape our narrative according to how it makes sense to us. She didn't say we need to invent the narrative. She said we need to shape it. But how are we shaping? We are shaping it based on what we know, based on what has been before us. But what if those before us didn't say anything, they didn't document anything? They were just living in the bubble like we are today, just living in the bubble from click to click without deciding to make a reflection. It is because those people that created those ports, central Nigeria, the Nok people thousands of years ago, they decided to do that today we are making reference to them. That those that live in the time of ancient Nubia and ancient Egypt decided to put down their thoughts. That's what we are thinking about it today. That is what Christianity is based upon. The Abrahamic religion is based on ancient Egypt. And that is what science, technology is based on too. That sometimes some people in the Dogon, they were exploring the universe, exploring the star that NASA couldn't wrap their mind about until recently. What if they never said anything about it? How could we know that? These are fundamental things that we need to do as a people to trace who we are. Because if we don't do that, there is a sickness that is going on among us as African diaspora and also Africans in Africa. It's called identity crisis. That we are lost. We are lost because we are not tracing ourselves back where we are coming from. Because those that have been before us have left a lot of signs, lots of evidence of their life. But we haven't paid enough attention to understand, to read the signs of time, to get the message that they left behind. Because they left message for us. And this message, of course, I didn't say they wrote it in a book of A4. That is not what I'm saying. But they wrote it in different ways because they live in different time. It is up to us to decode their time. Because when we understand who they were, the message they left for us, then, like Dr. Marcia is saying, we will reshape that narrative according to our time, according to the relevance of our time.